on? Are we on?
Are we? Oh. Holding number 32, Orlando Scandrick.
Every day, all day.
Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast is right here for another episode. I'm your host, and this is my boy.
Hatch is also in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
We got Orlando Scandrick coming to the show right now. Stay tuned.
Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast on Fubo TV.
Let's do it. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. I'm one of your hosts, and this is my boy.
Hatch, your other host, the real host, the number one host, the only host that really matters. Your boy Hatch is in the building for Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast.
And today we have a very special guest. All our guests are special, but this one right here, he's special.
In a special way?
In a special way.
Okay, all right. Well, I want to know why is he so special before we even introduce him. Why is he so special?
Give me your take. We have
this
banter with ourselves every time we see each other because our first interaction, obviously, was my second year with the Cowboys.
Second year.
Yeah.
No, it was your third year.
You came into my third year?
Your third year, because you did 1 year with Parcell. Then you did the first year with Wade. It was the second year with Wade.
Right. So yeah. So he came on like my last year or what have you. So this guy comes in, rookie, very tenacious, aggressive. You know when I say aggressive, you know where I'm going with it. All the aggressive
when a
corners.
DB is aggressive, that's saying something. But go ahead.
Yeah, they're very handsy, very handsy. But no, we have great competition every day. This guy right here, honestly, he pushed me. I liked going up against this guy. You know, we always had this thing where he always holding. I'm like, quit holding me. But he's like, no refs are out here, so it's not holding.
It's not holding.
But this guy right here, Orlando Scandrick, man.
Appreciate you coming out, man. We appreciate you.
It was a no-brainer. When
Already.
T asked to do it, it's a no-brainer.
Well, so I can be cool like y'all, let me go ahead and throw my little sunglasses on. Yeah. You know, I want to be cool like y'all. I'm going to do the interview in my sunglasses, you know what I'm saying? See, get my swag meter up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what you been doing, man, with yourself since
just
post-career?
Coaching, high school football, doing my own podcast.
Nice.
Just getting a chance to be a full-time dad.
Nice.
Hanging with my kids and, just living my life a little bit, trying to figure out where I want to go with this, this second career, second life, I'll call it. It's like a new life.
Yeah. First time without football, right?
Yeah, first time without football since I was 7 years old.
That's crazy. So we talk a lot about transitioning, on the show. And again, we're not always talking about transitioning out of your sport or, your some celebrities may be out of acting or out of music, but going into it. So let's go back to your high school a little bit in your path, because again, we're small college guys who made it to the NFL, and it's not always about going to your USCs and your Ohio State. So tell us a little bit about your background through your high school career getting into college.
High school, I went to Los Alamitos High School here in like Long Beach, Seal Beach, one of the top football programs in Southern California, so very, very highly rated, very, very, very prestigious for a high school. Coming out of high school, I had a chance to go to, it was a Pac-10 then. Almost any Pac-10 school except outside of maybe USC, at the time, because USC was rolling. But I chose the route of going to Boise State, and you guys might think of it as a small school or, it's not a Power 5 conference.
Right.
It's a college that was like everything I embellished, just blue collar, hard work, coming to work every day, that underdog mentality, that chip on your shoulder, and that's carried me a long way. I leave my junior year, I get drafted by a loaded Dallas Cowboys team. I think everybody expects me to get drafted a little bit higher. I'm super athletic, fast.
Were you expected to get drafted higher?
Yeah, I was expected to get drafted, but my maturation wasn't there. But I go to Dallas, a team that's loaded. It's loaded with star power, it's loaded with talent. And for the first time, I'm around personalities that are very, very similar to me.
Okay.
My first interaction is Terrell Owens, Pac-Man Jones, Tank Johnson, it's Marion Barber.
Everybody talking.
Yeah, and I think that, the time that we had away from Dallas when we were in Oxnard, I think kind of earned my respect for those dudes. So, I was accepted. T, where he was in his career, he was a sure bet Hall of Famer already at that point. For him to accept me in and embrace me and just, I remember going over to his condo downtown and it's just like, shit, like I'm in T.O. house. Like, that was just a year ago. And, you know, he never looked at me like that. Like, he never, like, little boy me, you know, he never treated me and nothing less than a man. And, you know, he was a great teammate. Like, I compared, like, my teammates, my top teammates to him and DeMarcus Ware. They couldn't be more opposite. But them two dudes is dudes that care. Like, if you needed something, you could go to them. And he get this stigma that, you know, he divides teams and, he couldn't have been more opposite to that.
Right.
And, you know, what happened in my first year, you know, we come and we have a talented team. You know, sometimes all of that talent don't match. You know, halfway through the year, we trade for Roy Williams. Like, we didn't really need him. We had a ton of receivers. What we needed a healthy quarterback, and we needed some more continuity and to play well together. Our problem in Dallas was we couldn't get our defense and our offense to playing well at the same time. Before I got there, we got a top 5 offense. The quarterback gets hurt. When I get there, now we got a top 5 defense. And I think that if we would have just stuck it out one more year and tried to get those guys to play together, then, you know, we would have had something.
So again, I hate making this show about T because it's not about him, it's about our guest.
Yeah.
But I want to go back because we see the media. They always talk about the negative things from him, right? I want to ask you, did you ever get a call from the media? Because we don't think nobody's ever called somebody to talk positive about T because there's nothing positive.
Right.
So, like, why didn't I call people like you to give your stories and your takes on if T.O.'s a good teammate?
Because the media don't want good things.
There it is.
They want all bad things. Nobody wants to turn on the TV and hear, like, how great the world is going. You want the negative things, and they just looking for a scapegoat. And they're not going to call me because they're not going to call people who are going to stick up for him, which was the younger players and the players I was one of the players that they were trying to protect from him. We don't need to get him out of here. We don't want him to develop into him. We don't want him to follow him, you know. And I think that, and I love Tony, but I think that Tony could have did a better job of standing up for him.
Okay.
Like, I think those guys could have did a better job of, like, and I think we could have kept. I remember one time we had a meeting. We had a team-run meeting, and when we walked out the door, I bullshit you not, right-handed guy. When we walked out the door, people was getting text messages, and the media already knew that we had a players-only meeting.
Wow.
But
So it's out. According to them, it's team only.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that makes, again, so you guys out there that don't know it, right, when you call a team only meeting, right, it's players only. It's not about the coaches. It's about the team kind of pulling themselves together and, like, say, how do we get the season rolling or how do we get us rolling? And not about the coach, not about the organization, but how do we go out and get a win? And so for that to happen, he's saying, again, there's what do you call him, a rat?
I mean, I wouldn't even say it was a rat. I would just say that everybody didn't have the same motive.
Right.
Like, some people went into the team-only meeting was to clear up things, like just to clear up, you know, what's our path. And then others went in there already with a preconceived notion that this was the problem.
Yep.
And if I had to bet all the money I had to my name, there were people going to higher powers to get him removed. And I don't think none of us seen when we got Roy Williams, we essentially got 2 of the same players.
Right.
So him being released, now that I look back, it wasn't a surprise because it was already being pushed towards that way.
Yeah. But other than that, man, like I said, you know, all over the course of my career, that's why I was always able to really kind of rise above all the negative stuff. Because, again, I was built different. I was always, you know, my grandmother raised me in a sense to she kind of basically foreshadowed a lot of stuff that I was going to go through. You know, she told me a lot of those things as a young kid, but I just didn't really know if they were going to come to fruition or not. But as I got older and obviously, like I said, to become a man and see how the world unfolded. But as you said, we had team-only meetings. People came in there, obviously, with, you know, the meeting to have some clarity. And there are some times when we went in those meetings, there were guys that already had their preconceived notions about, you know, who the problem was. But we were trying to basically rectify situations so we could get out on the football field, leave all the excess outside the door, and try to compete for a championship. And those are some of the things that I tried to adopt, especially being a veteran player, understanding the stigma that followed me from San Francisco to Philly. Now I'm in Dallas. Okay, now I'm trying to be the best teammate that I could be. But because of, obviously, you know, the reputation, it followed me, and it was like I could never escape that. So anything that happened, it was almost like it was my fault.
Oh, it's definitely your fault.
Every time.
That's how I feel.
I played for Andy Reid for a year, and you know, Rick followed Andy from Philly, and those two didn't have
you
nothing.
Say Rick who?
Rick, what's the buddy name that was the trainer?
Oh, Burkholder.
And those two didn't have nothing but positive things to say about this man. Like nothing. And like essentially, if you look at his situation in Philadelphia, like for whatever reason, he was taking away some of Donovan's shine. Like, and then when it came down to it, you know, they went with the quarterback. Then he comes to Dallas, and the man gets an extension, gets paid a lot of money, and he gets released 6 months later.
Yeah,
like
less than 6 months later.
Yeah,
it was shockingly to me. And then if you think about it, Dallas struggled before Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
And to get another top receiver, and you had,
one right
I would
there.
say him and Randy, you know, 2 peas in the pot. You had the top receiver in the league
Absolutely.
on your team at the time.
But you messed it up and blew it, right? So let me ask you this: like you're getting into a podcast, right? Do you feel that as now that you're in the media, are you going to do anything different to make sure that that's not happening for players?
I tell it how it is, you know, and I don't want to make this about him, and I'm not about to make this like about him.
Yeah.
But this is I'm gonna wrap up with this. If people would have criticized Terrell's performance, he would have been fine with it.
True.
But everything with T was his character.
Yeah.
Like this dude was like, come on, as much money as he's making, he driving an orange VW Beetle.
The Beetle?
Like he ain't
The
out
Beetle?
here like you know.
I wasn't flashy.
Alright.
Like he
I
wasn't
like
flashy.
nice
Like he
things,
liked nice things, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, what was he doing? What
I
he
was
wanted to do
simple.
with parking it in the front?
But that's why people would hate, because he's not doing those things we want him to do.
In actuality, I think about, I remember when they had a rookie dinner and they wanted to, you know, run the bill up and do this. And he was one of the main ones, like, come on, we ain't about to like do this. Him and Marion, like, what we doing this for?
What?
Right.
It made no sense to me. It's like
Rookie hazing.
there's other
Rookie
ways
hazing.
to develop team camaraderie and bring young guys along. I just didn't feel like that was necessary. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because I'm like, as a rookie, like they already have enough stuff to stress about.
Yeah. Did you ever get hazed as a rookie?
Oh, you know, I wasn't having that.
Really?
I
Did you ever
kinda
get hazed
bucked
as
the
a rookie?
system.
I didn't, man. Like, the dudes I play with, like multiple Hall of Famers. Zach Thomas, T, DeMarcus, Terrence Newman had a
they
great
went
career.
about
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
it wasn't, if you was respectful, like it's different now. These rookies come in now and they don't have no respect for the game. Like, it was different, you know,
Yeah,
like,
it
you
is.
know, like when they take the shower, you let them have their shower. When they go in the training room, you hop up off the table.
Right.
When we get on the plane, you don't get in their seats. It was a totally different ball game than it is. Right now, you come in and you just anointed. And the league wasn't like that.
Right.
Now you got kids that ain't did nothing but have
They
1,
did
2.
nothing.
The kids got 1, 2 years and they want to compare them to the greats.
Yeah. How much? We talked about this before on the show. It burns us up. I mean, a dude can go have, in your position, he have 1 interception, and this is the next Hall of Famer. Like, you got 1 pick.
Right,
You know what I'm
like,
saying? What are you
you
talking?
have
Because we'll
one
hear like you
good
had
game,
6
1,
catches
2
for
good
80
games.
for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh, he's the next T.O. Like, he's the next Moss. Like, pump your brakes. Why are you guys putting these people in the same breath as some of these legends?
Man, I ain't seen a T.O. or a Moss.
Yeah, I agree.
But the league is different now, though. It's totally different. Back when we started, that illegal contact, right now you breathe on a guy. It's a
Oh,
penalty.
yeah. Oh, yeah, y'all
There's
DBs
no
can't do nothing.
Uncatchable. The things I was doing to him right now, man,
Yeah.
the first down every time.
Yeah, y'all gonna
But
be
it's a
holding.
it's a totally different game now.
I agree.
Like now it's
It's offense only. Offense,
Yeah,
we got to
offense
score.
only.
We got to see points.
and the only thing they want from defense is picks. I think they pick players now differently. Back in the day, you know, if you could play, they would deal with you as long as they could tolerate you. Now it's, you know, if they didn't anoint you, if you got any little character, you hear all of these dudes gonna get drafted because of character. Like,
Yeah.
like, what do you expect somebody that runs into somebody else at full speed for a living? They're gonna be a little off.
Already. And they're young. They made mistakes at 19, 20. And Jeremy Tunsil, the tackle that went to the Dolphins, right? He got caught smoking weed. Like, is that really a problem? He was smoking weed the night of the draft. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes from being top 5 pick to, I think, 18 or something like that. But again, they're making mistakes as 18, 19-year-olds, and we want to say, no, you're not allowed to do that. But that's only, like you said, only certain organizations or certain people they're going to give that pass
I think
to.
all these organizations is the same. All these owners is friends.
Yeah.
All these organizations are the same. Some put on different fronts than others. Some tolerate a little bit more because they can need you for others. But they all the same. They call around and something don't work. Black boy, I think they all set the market together, and sometimes they overspend for something. But I don't want to get, like, people get this perception that this organization better than that organization. They all pretty much the same. All the coaches recycle, all the front office people recycle.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. They all the same.
Yeah, there it is.
This episode of Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, we've all been there. Something is interfering with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals? That's why BetterHelp was created, to assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it is professional therapy done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available which may not be locally available in many areas. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if needed. It's more affordable than traditional online therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit betterhelp.com/popcorn. That's BetterHelp, and join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. Special offer for Getcha Popcorn listeners: get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/popcorn. So let's talk a little bit about your career, being, coming from Boise State. And first of all, how do you play on that blue?
The blue turf?
The blue
was
turf.
that before you was there?
Nah, it's there. Shit's a grind, man. When you come from a single mom and you come from the inner city, it's a grind. It was different. I had to do what I had to do. It allowed me to focus. Maybe if I would have been in one of these bigger towns and when Alabama, USC, maybe I would have got caught up and I wouldn't have been able to focus. Right. There was a small town. You felt like you had to win every game to have a chance to be recognized, to have a chance to earn some more primetime games, and it allowed me to focus. And it couldn't have been sweeter to go from Boise to Dallas. You went from a small school to the top franchise. And, everything happens for a reason. It kept me hungry, being a 5th-round pick. I remember riding a training camp with Kevin Burnett, which was a childhood friend of mine, and he told me, he said, take a picture of your room at your mom's house, and, bring it with you. Take a picture of my room.
Right.
Weird shit. I'm like, what's good? So we get in the car and we driving up the 101 to Oxnard, and he like, hey, when you get to your room, like hang that picture up. I'm still like,
right.
And then he like, nah, seriously though. Every night you come in, you get out of meetings, you look at it and you think to yourself, you can't go back here. And I think that's kind of the mentality that I embraced. Mm-hmm. And every year for my first few years, I thought I was gonna get cut. Like, man, I'm finna get cut. Like, I can't miss no practices. I'm finna get cut. Like, even when I had a major role, like, I'm finna get cut.
Dude, I had that same mentality as a rookie. Like I said, I didn't really, 5th round pick, 3rd round. I really had that thought that I was going to get cut. I was going to get cut because everybody thinks, okay, you get drafted, that, okay, you in the league forever, however many years you signed for.
Like,
but
no, it don't work like that.
Right. So,
when I walked in that door, the only people I knew was making that team was Felix Jones, Martellus Bennett.
Yeah.
We ain't had no 3rd round pick because they probably done traded it away for something.
Right, yeah.
And Tashard, and he had an uphill battle himself too. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking every day, like, it took them so long to draft me. And then I come in a room that's stacked. Terrence Newman, top 5 pick. Anthony Henry came over in free agency. Pac-Man Jones, top 10 pick.
Yeah, already.
Mike Jenkins, 1st round pick. I forgot him and Felix was 1st round picks.
Mike Jenkins.
So now, like, before they even think about it, I'm like, man, I'm the 4th corner. And then Alan Ball was already on the team. My rookie year, I get a sty in my eye. Like, I had to miss OTA, so I didn't even really get to practice. So I'm like, shit, here I come. I'm going to be with the 3s. I know I'm going to be with the 3s when I get at practice. Because, Pac-Man, I remember he told the DB coach, Maxie, remember Maxie?
Brett Maxie?
He said, Maxie, he said, I didn't come over here to be with the 2s. Next thing you know, now they got a rotation with the 1s.
There you go.
And then with the 2s is Mike Jenkins is the 1st round pick. Then they got Alan Ball. Now I'm scraping for reps at this point. Yeah. Never want to prey on nobody's injury, but Terrence Newman hurts is growing, does something. So, we get to a game, they're like, let's just throw him in, see what he do. And I kind of took off from there, and they believed in me. And just being able to compete. That's why when he says you was holding me and you was aggressive, shit, I had to
Competing,
be.
had to be.
I had to be like a Swiss Army knife. I had to go do all the special teams. He didn't play special teams.
Right, he don't got nothing to sit in the grind. You don't get that. You don't
Early on, I knew what it was like.
I had to go run around and do all the special teams drills, full speed. And then any little reps, and then now I had to scoot to the front
Were
of
you
the line.
going the nickel as well at that time too? You
No,
going inside and
listen,
outside?
I was nothing.
Okay.
I was nothing. I was just a draft pick.
A body.
Right.
He was a body.
Yes,
He was just an
You got a
extra
number
body.
on, that's it.
Exactly. He was
I
extra
was
body.
probably slated to be the 5th or 6th corner, and if they kept me, it was because they couldn't slide me on practice squad. So I'm like, damn, man, like practice, how much this make?
Right. Practice squad make 90.
Wild.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to take my little $185,000 signing bonus. I had to stash that.
Which is smart. Good.
And then, you know, I came to work every day. I competed. It was real double day practices.
Right, real back in the day.
And now that I even think about it, I want to say that we spent half the training camp in Oxnard, and the other half we went to San Antonio.
Yeah, we did.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So-
y'all was traveling during camp.
I'm
It's a grind.
grinding. Like grinding, like anything I can. We went to Denver to practice against them. The offense guy, I remember I got a photogenic memory. Offense gets into a fight. They cancel their practice. I'm like, y'all can't cancel our shit. I need these
Right, I
reps.
need these reps.
I
yeah.
need them.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, maybe the Broncos might need something.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I just embraced that mentality. Every day I thought I was gonna get cut. Every single day.
Isn't that's funny, but that's what took you through your career. That's how you got 10 years in. You know what I'm saying?
I could say that only once or twice in my career have I ever been inactive, like at a healthy scratch. And
Yeah.
that was towards the end of my career when I was older,
Yeah.
you know, and my body was starting to break down. But like now that I look about, I wasn't gonna get cut. I was on the 43 or whatever they call it now.
53 man route, yeah,
No, I was
active.
on the 43 active. The 53, that don't mean nothing.
Yeah, the pay, just to get paid, but
and tell
then
you
43 is the play.
I just had to embrace that mentality. I'm thankful though. I'm thankful that I played around the guys that I played. Like I could have went to one of these better situations with this team with a less personality, and you know maybe I wouldn't have made it. But my personality, I was the least of their concerns.
Right. From what these dudes is doing.
So what prepared you, obviously moving on from Dallas, what prepared you, you know, in that time? Because like I said, I competed against you every day. And then like I said, you wasn't penciled in as a starter. You had Newman in front of you. You had Jenkins, who was a draft pick. You had Pac-Man. You had Ant Henry.
Yeah.
So then I saw that transition. I saw that, you know, like I said, when we put you in, I'm like, yo, I know this guy is gonna come in. He's gonna ball out because I saw it every day.
See it in practice, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so first, the biggest thing was just learning, studying, knowing. Coming from Boise, having a complex defense. I'd already played nickel. I'd already played outside. So I established myself as a nickel, you know, and I feel like at one point in time, this is before Chris Harris, and, you know, I feel like I was probably one of the best nickels in the league. You know, there was Leon Hall, who played inside and outside. Then there was me. There was really no one else. Nobody else was doing it. No corners don't want to go in there.
Right.
With that being said, you playing nickel, obviously you're a defensive back. What is the mentality like? Because I know as a nickel back, guys, they may like to play nickel, or coaches, just because of depth or whatever, they may put you in a nickel. Did you have the mentality, okay, I'm going to be a nickel or a dime guy, or did you see yourself as a starting corner, like left or
Who
right?
also plays nickel.
I see myself as a starting guy, and the league was just now starting to transition from I-backs to they were opening
3
it up.
receivers, 4
And
receivers
then,
on
you
every
know,
play.
when you think about like slot receivers, you think about like Santana Moss, and you think about help me out here. Who's Randall L.
Wayne Corbett. Well, no, I was
so now
at the end.
they transitioning to putting these
6'3s.
big ass dudes in the inside.
Yeah,
Bingo.
6'3s, yeah.
Like, you know, so I couldn't escape him. Like, it was like, okay, now I'm going to see you in one-on-ones and scout team. And now when I'm with the starters, now they lining up in packages that they putting them inside. And I remember it like it was yesterday. A play that was like, that was his play when they went inside. They would put him inside. They would flex out Witten. He would run. It would be 525 F post. They flex out Witten.
Yeah.
You got to get down there and play him, because if you don't play him at the line of scrimmage, he's just going to body you out. He's going to catch it.
All right.
So being in that helped me to play outside, because everything, like, you on the money down. If they catch it, everything is short inside. Everything is fast. Outside release, outside means outside breaking routes. Inside release, outside means that. Outside release, inside, it means they can be setting you up. So I had to kind of just develop. And Terrence was great for me. And Terrence didn't want to play no more, so he was rooting for me. Like he was like, "Come on,
that young fella."
He did not want to play it anymore. He didn't want to do it. So he helped me. He pushed me. When he came back, they put him inside for a little bit, and I think they were just like, you know what? I think we're better leaving Terrence. We have more people on the field. Then Terrence leaves after that, and they draft Morris Claiborne. So I'm like, bro, y'all didn't pay me. Now this is all y'all see me at. Like I want to be in the program. Like I want, in the program when you flip through. I want to be with the starter. I don't want to be the too deep. And I just continued to grind, continued to fight. Just worked in the off season. Just put my mind to it. Just worked and worked and worked at my craft and tried to get stronger. I couldn't stretch myself out and get no taller, but I tried to get stronger at the point of attack, stronger at reading releases, and eventually I became a starting outside corner, and I was the guy who was outside and moved inside.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to really have you share that, because there's a lot of kids out there, they're gonna feel good about themselves. They're gonna have that self-confidence, like, oh, I can do this. And just because a coach may evaluate him and put him here, they may get discouraged. But a guy like
don't get
Orlando,
discouraged.
right? You can't get discouraged.
It's part of it.
You have to be able to enhance and really highlight some of your deficiency. But then, like you said, he can't grow any taller. But how can I get better?
Right.
I mean, if you really think about it, people want to think about outside corner. How I was taught it. Outside corner, you really only got to tackle on first and second down and play the deep ball. Third downs is where everything is coming. And most of the balls is going inside because they're easier throws. They're easy access throws. So when I learned that, it helped me. 4 or 5 years at nickel. I moved to outside for 4 or 5 years. And then when I left Dallas, I primarily played. No, when I went to Kansas City, I played only outside.
Okay.
When I went to Philly, I played only inside. So if I don't tear my knee in Dallas, I'm probably still playing. But if I don't tear my knees, maybe something else happens.
True. Yeah.
I'm thankful. And I would tell all the young kids to just fight, like, treat every day like it's your last. And I had a bus driver that used to drive us in high school. He was our high school football bus driver, and his name was Frenchie. Everybody would get on. He'd be like, load it up, and then he'd get on. The old school yellow buses had the little
walkie-talkie joints.
He'd be like, all aboard, and then we'd go back to him, say, all aboard, and then he'd say, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today's the day. And then he'd start the bus, and then he'd go.
That's awesome. When's the last time you seen Frenchie?
Man, I don't think Frenchie was old as hell when I was there. I graduated in 2005.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was about 16, 17 years ago. So
Frenchie might be still holding on.
Man, I went back there. Frenchie ain't there. Kids driving cars to the game. I don't know what they got. Not
kids doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I try to tell a lot of kids, especially like shorter, the kids who aren't going to reach the 6'2", 6'3", like the league is looking for the longer corner. But if you master the nickel, you will play 10 years.
But that ain't the case, though. If you watched the game last night, they drafted J.C. Horn, number 8 overall.
Yeah,
as soon as it was third down, they put his ass inside.
Put him inside.
Look at Jalen Ramsey. He go inside.
Yeah.
It's like they
value
it differently now.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to tackle, you got to be able to blitz, you got to be able to cover.
You got to do it all.
You could put the guy inside and roll the coverage outside. The league's different now. It's totally different now.
Yeah.
But if you could play, you could play.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody tell you that you can't.
Right. Yeah.
So what are your highest, the best moment you had in football, and what's your lowest?
Man, my low point was just tearing my ACL. Just coming off of a year, like the year that I had before, I was sure bet Pro Bowl. I was ineligible to make Pro Bowl because I made a bad decision and, ingested, a drug that caused me to get suspended and made me Pro Bowl ineligible. But just the way that I bounced back from that and, being suspended for 2 games and having the best 14 my career year. And I come back the next year, I hold out for a contract extension, and I get everything that I want. And now is my chance. I'm going to take off. I signed just a 1-year contract extension, 1 year, $10 million extension. And I'm going to take off. And, I've already been promised. You know how Jerry, he generous. When you winning and you doing it, you his guy, he going to take care of you. And
So I thought.
And when you're not his
but
guy.
he took care of you, though.
When you're his guy.
Temporarily, I was still the guy, but he got rid of me. But
he ain't never really paid me like he was supposed to pay me. Right. They just wanted to see me do it one more time. Like the year before was the first chance that I had to see that, I'm the guy, I can play outside, inside.
Right.
I'm, one of the best players on the defense. It was me and Sean Lee at that time. And, we had won the division, went to the playoffs, whatever, whatnot. And then I think my highest point was, just being on the team that had won 13 straight games in a row, winning the NFC, winning the NFC, East.
East NFC.
And
East,
then, getting that first round bye, even though we lost, but just being a part of that team, being selected, team captain, just being a part of it. And
team captain's big. Team captain's huge.
yeah, it is, but it's rigged.
Okay.
Because,
it's not the play. You guys didn't do it
I
with
don't
the
think
player.
so.
Oh, okay. So we did it with the players.
I'm sure that the players do it, but did the players count it?
No, we didn't
Yeah,
count
if I don't
it,
see it, it ain't happen.
Already, I feel you.
Yeah.
Hey, real, keep it real.
He's
Buck.
very involved. He
Hey,
can tell you,
keep it
don't
buck
miss nothing.
already.
So that was one of the highest points. And, I mean, I cherish all my memories in the league. I try not to, I'm not that guy that tries to like rehash and relive my glory days. I try to look ahead. I try to embrace every challenge that I face day to day. The transitional process is real.
Yeah.
I think we all go through a little bit of depression and, feeling like not needed, not wanted. And, it's been real for me, but I've been able to surround myself with good people. I got a good mentality, a good head on my shoulders. And I know no matter what happens, I'm going to wake up 10 toes down and I'm going to grind every day that I get to open my eyes.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of transition, so again, you're starting your podcast. Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about.
About the game pod with TJ Hushmanzada, Lawrence Sessom. I had another like big brother type of relationship with TJ as I had with Terrell. Met TJ in the offseason of a lockout, working out at API over in Carson. And he just worked and worked and worked. Same type of situation, late round draft pick, don't got all of the height, weight, speed, super, super talented, super smart. Just kind of having him put his arm around me. And TJ, that's what TJ is though. Like he's a person that helps others. I know Chad wouldn't have made it as far as he made it in Cincinnati without TJ. And that's not a knock on Chad's athletic ability, just what he was able to do with him from a mental standpoint. And, that's pretty much my podcast. And I'm on there doing the same thing I'm doing on here. I'm a little bit more raw and uncut on my own shit,
Okay.
But that's what it is. That's about the game pod.
All right, okay.
Yeah, you seem to be a lot reflective, introspective now than when I first met you. I know you touched on it a little bit. What did you learn about yourself, obviously, with the league? Like you say you ingested something, and then obviously to bounce back from that, what did you learn about yourself during that time?
I mean, no matter how high you are, no matter how low you are, tomorrow you got to wake up and earn it. Like every day you got to earn it. And then I use that in life too. Every day you got to earn it. You got to earn it at everything.
Yeah.
And I use that like mentality. I use it, I got to earn it with my kids. I'm going to face things with them. Like there's always things that'll come up. It's like, that's life.
Yep. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
Right? That's the new motto going on out there if y'all ain't heard it yet. But again, like you don't get.
That's new to me.
It's new because you don't get it. You kind of.
Yesterday's price is
It's not today's price.
Okay.
It's not today's price.
Unless you put it on layaway.
Ain't no more layaway. No, I'm just playing. No, but it's like the transition that, from athletes, entertainers, whatever, like the ups and downs. Again, it's the mental game. It's not a physical, we can't play anymore, right? We can't do this anymore. It's the mental game of, what else can I do? And the reason, like I said, we talk about this a lot as well, is there's so much more we can do. There's so much more out there. But when we're playing, people only want to see us as athletes and ball players. Like we're not that. We're more than that.
But when we played, though, it wasn't okay to do other things.
It
outside.
wasn't. It
now
wasn't
it's
at all.
okay to do that.
They do everything now.
Do other things outside. But
we got looked at in a bad way for doing other
but
stuff.
But it's people before us that was like, yo, when we played, we wasn't getting paid like that.
Yeah.
So I try not to look at it like that. There's so many opportunities. I got a great start to life. The NFL gave me a great start to life. So it's up to me now.
Absolutely.
Do you think social media is a part of what you're talking about now?
Bro, I'm not very active on social media. They got to press me to do that. I got a great PR team that helps me. I'm not very active on that. Like I like to stay in the house. I like to stay to myself. I'm a little bit afraid of people.
Whoa.
Really? Wait. You can't
say you're not active on social media.
It's his PR team.
Right, but I get that. But it just comes with the territory. So if you're dating someone that's in the social media world, then how are you you can't just escape
that I was dating somebody that was in the social media world, and that's my son's mom, my ex-fiance. Okay. And now like that's not my life anymore. I'm I'm way more reserved, I'm way more calculated and things like that. So,
Because when I started to see you merge, like I'm like, yo, this is not this ain't the Scandrick I knew. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was chill, he did his thing, but he wasn't like. And I don't think around that time too, when we played together, 09, then it wasn't really. It wasn't. Social media wasn't at the height
popping,
of
no,
where it is now.
Nah.
But since then, like I said,
that's a false reality, man. That ain't real. What you see on Instagram is not real.
It's not real.
It's a picture, but it's doctored up and it's portrayed however you want.
Right.
Like that's not. Like Instagram, when it was started, it was made to do live feeds, like pictures of what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Now it's like,
filters.
You get filters and you'll get people posting pictures of Bali.
I can't do it.
And I just seen you on Melrose.
Right? Facts.
They jumping over fences to get a picture in front of a private jet.
Yeah.
They really doing all that right now.
Yeah.
That's something you would do.
Right.
No,
I don't do none of that stuff.
Yeah, you would do that.
But so where are you? What are you doing right now outside of obviously the podcast? You say you're coaching.
Man, I'm still under contract at Fox. I still do Undisputed.
Good.
COVID has kind of put a damper on that. You know, I'm still doing a lot of commercial real estate. I still got some commercial real estate in Dallas. Now I'm building I'm fully renovating a high rise over in the Wilshire corridor.
Nice.
So I got some things going, but I'm just trying to earn it every day.
Right.
Like I don't really plan too far ahead. Every day I'm trying to earn it.
Mm-hmm. Now again, you kind of like to be at home, you're chill, right? The perception of, especially any athlete or any ex-athlete, you want to be out there in the limelight. Nah. So to give the people an example, like, because they don't think you probably sit at home and give them an example.
You're going to catch me at the Sports Academy, at the MAP Center, at the AAU game with Dream Academy, at my 2 little girls, my 11-year-olds.
Right, yeah.
A typical day, though, is just 6 o'clock, my alarm goes off, feed my dog, let my dog out. 6:30, I'm getting my girls up. Then I lay back down till about 7. Then I'm going to get up at 7. I'm going to finish making their lunch, like whatever is the part that needs to be made that morning, whether it's a sandwich, whether it's a
that's awesome.
fresh fruit. Then I'm going to drop my girls off at school in Brentwood at about 7:30. Then on my way back from there, I'm gonna go to Starbucks, give me a double shot espresso. Shout out Starbucks.
Man, it's on schedule.
Then I'm gonna go to the stairs. I'm gonna do my workout at the stairs. It's gonna take me about 45 minutes. And then I'm gonna kind of get into my day, whatever my day is at that point.
Yeah. That's great. Again, we're so used to schedule. I think
that's
the biggest thing. Because when you're playing, let's say we go to the facility at 6:30, we get home at 6:37. And I wouldn't worry about nothing until I got home later. But when I got done playing ball, I'm like, I had to worry about what was going on all day. You know what I'm saying? If it was something like that's not the perfect timing in your life or something,
easy. This hard.
Life
football
is
easy,
absolutely. I agree. Absolutely.
This hard, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Y'all two were very much so. I mean, we all had a schedule structure, but if we had, that's why whenever I played somewhere, I had to stay close to the facility because I like to sleep.
Yeah,
I like to sleep.
He got a sleeping problem.
I'm getting all my hours, bro. I'm getting all the minutes. If the meeting is at 8:30 and I'm somewhere near the facility, I'm gonna map it out the first couple of days.
How long it take me to get to it?
If I can squeeze a couple of extra minutes, few minutes, then I'm gonna do it just to get.
Wake your butt up, man.
Just to get there on time.
Bro, but I never seen this man lift a free weight in my life. Swear to God, ever.
He
do not lift weights. He would get these bands.
Closed, all the bands.
Bro, he would get these bands out of this bag. He'd pull it out of his locker. He got a hella shit in his locker. He got 2 lockers. One on the corner right here. He gonna look through it.
I had 2
then
lockers.
He gonna pull. He gonna pull some shit out. He gonna have all these bands, and then he gonna sneak into the weight room around lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
And he gonna get a quick band lift in. And I used to try that later in my career, and I was like, man,
didn't feel like it was
for
doing
sure
that
had
for
weights
you.
at home.
We got to.
He had to.
No. But what I was saying, basically, like at the end of my career, toward the end of my career, because at this point I'm at the height. So it's all about at this point working smarter, not really harder. So he didn't really see all the grind work that
Bro,
I
I
did.
never seen since my rookie year. In 2008, you was not at the end of your career. I never seen you lift.
Right.
I never seen you lift weights.
Right. So I wasn't at the end, but according to people, when you get in your 30s, you're at the end of your career.
Right.
So I had done all the stuff. Like he said, I never really lifted a lot of weights. I did a lot of band workouts to incorporate some of the stuff, the explosive movements and stuff that I did. Because at that point, like I started to become like I started to feel like I was fast. You know what I mean?
For the first time in your life, you was fast.
No lie. Philly, I probably felt like my most explosive. Then from Philly to Dallas, people started to see me take the top off defenses. You know what I mean? So that was some of the things that I did when they started to see the explosive stuff that they were witnessing on these primetime games. It was because of some of those band workouts, because those band workouts, they target the smaller intrinsic muscles that basically support the bigger muscles. So that's how I wanted to get bigger, faster, and stronger as I played.
Bands. So for $9.99, you all can get your T.O. band workout on Fubo TV.
Hey, it's coming. So like you said, I would sneak. Like honestly, I would go during our lunchtime.
He's sneaking in there.
Right.
I would go in there ready to get my.
Y'all sitting there eating, you in there.
But he had another little trick that he did. He wore this weight vest underneath his jersey. He snuck it under there.
How heavy was the weight vest?
I mean, it was a few. I mean, it wasn't like 10, 15 pounds, but it was a little bit like a little heavier.
Then T-New started to do it. Two dudes that played into their 40s.
So what was that telling you? I need to do this?
Nah,
I'm young. I can do anything I want to do.
Nah.
And he wouldn't know I had all of that on me if he wasn't holding me all the damn time. That's how he got to know I didn't know I had all my
let's go back.
No, I seen him putting it on. Him and T-New had the same one. It was like flat.
Flat. Then you strap it.
Okay, so let's go back, because T's not the first one to say that you hold as a DB.
Who else said that?
He was not the first. There's a couple other receivers out there that might say you was really grabby with it. What do you say to those guys?
I never was in the top in penalties.
That's all that matters.
It's a difference between pulling and tugging.
Okay,
you know,
tell us what's the difference?
A lot of people, you pull when you pull. That's when you got the whole jersey.
Right.
But if you close enough, you know, a lot of people want to extend on a jam. You don't want to extend because I'm pushing you into your route. I just want to pull you towards me just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Where at on the body part would you do the little tug?
You got to keep it in low. It's got to be low.
So under the shoulder pad, on the hip?
No, I'm not trying to under your shoulder pad. No, under your shoulder pad, your jersey coming.
Okay.
If I'm close enough to you, I'm just going to get a little tug right here. Just a little tug.
All right.
And that
little game
little
for you youngsters out there. Yeah.
Just enough.
Oh,
you know?
That little tug will prevent you from acceleration every time, separation, everything.
Prevent you, not me. There's a difference.
Well, you weren't on the field.
Hey, pump your brakes. So the physical stuff, you picked up from watching T-New and all that, but obviously you said you like to watch film, right?
Terrence is smart.
Yeah, he was like a coach on the field.
I mean, it wasn't even that he was a coach on that. I got everything from him.
Right, yeah.
I got all my game from him.
Who else did you watch on film that you took a piece from here?
Oh, I had a dude that was a Pro Bowler right by me. I didn't have to.
Nobody. So you went to nobody. It was T. Newman's game is what you developed your game after.
I left my playbook at home. I'm not one of them dudes who take their shit and be all night talking to my girlfriend. I leave work at work.
Okay.
That's how I was able to play so long. Okay. Just asking him questions, and then when I had bad games, he would just tell me he always would tell me if you ain't had a bad game, you ain't played long enough.
Yeah.
And, I just kind of carried that.
Wow. Okay. So prior to the league, right? Boise, when you're watching film of DB, how did you get the mentality of the DB before you even met
before
T-New?
there was a T-New.
You know what I'm saying?
Cause you gotta think about it.
When I was at Boise, I was just better than everybody.
Right.
Like the people that we was playing, the Fresno States, the San Jose States, the Hawaiis, we played 1 or 2 games a year. Maybe you might play Oklahoma 1 year, Georgia 1 year.
Right.
You know, Oregon State, you only play 1 or 2 games a year. I was just I was physically better than everybody.
Right.
So I expected to win.
Whoever gave you the business, what receiver? He giving me the business. Who's your kryptonite? Your whole career. Who's your kryptonite? Everybody got a kryptonite.
You can go by
kryptonite in the NFL.
Yep, your whole career.
Keenan Allen, man.
Keenan Allen.
Bigger body, inside, shifty, able to change directions.
Shout out to Keenan, who's on the show.
I thought I prepared you for that.
No, bro, you couldn't really stop like that. No, you was totally.
Wow.
Your game was different than his. Your game was different.
You heard him. See, it's not me who be hating on you. I be telling you the truth.
But he ain't hating. He just really
He's a vertical. He is a vertical.
Push down.
I'm not no herky jerky type of guy.
And now in the league,
you're a jerky type of guy.
No. I mean, Keenan can't do what he can do, but as far as just giving me and being isolated, and Keenan played with the perfect quarterback for his style, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, at the time.
The perfect quarterback for what he was doing.
Yeah.
But I never played against Terrell in in an actual game.
Right,
so I
right,
don't
right.
know. No, it's practice. You working
but
things.
you best believe I was gonna give you the business.
You was,
We
okay.
played against each other.
Okay, with five,
Woo!
right? 5 reps. Who's gonna win the 5 reps?
I'm 5 out of 5.
one-on-one reps or 5?
5 one-on-one
teamwork?
reps.
I mean, he gonna probably get 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5
maybe.
because
3?
it's the position. I get
Yeah,
it.
because it's one-on-ones.
Yeah, yeah.
But when it came to it, he always would be screaming. Because I was cerebral. So I'm running to his dig before he running to his dig. He's screaming,
Yeah.
"I would do that in the game." I'm like, bro, I don't
like I'm not in the
get in
right.
that
I'm not
position
playing
yet.
you, right?
He was legit.
Like when I see something, like I believe it.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna go for it. Like
Right.
you know, I studied it. There was every week. It was 2 or 3 plays that I know if I see this play, I'll make a big play.
And you know what was good about him is that some guys probably would shy away. You know, you go one-on-ones. Like he
step
competed.
up.
You know
Step
what I mean?
up and
I'm
compete,
already
yeah.
knowing. Like I know that. Like yeah, holding, tugging, that's part of the game. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
like a receiver, like we're gonna have to extend and to get a release or separate or whatever. So I knew going against him that I'm not only getting myself better, but it's gonna get him better as well. So for me, it bodes well for the team because I'm knowing,
Yeah.
okay, on Sundays,
I need him to ball out.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, we had the little banter. You know, it got a little chippy at times, but at the end of the day, I mean that's football. You know what it
DB
is.
receiver relationship is like no other
Right,
in,
but
in
like I said,
sports. I be
we
trying
were
to tell
still
people.
At the end of the day, we were cool.
Oh, we all cool at the end of the day.
Exactly.
More of my friends are probably were DBs more than receivers. As funny as that sounds.
Probably,
You know,
probably.
at the end of the day. That's funny. That's crazy. So, okay, give us your top 5 now, right?
Receivers?
That's DBs. Top 5 DBs now in the game. that you'd
Jalen
like to
Ramsey,
watch.
no order.
Yep.
Jalen Ramsey. We saying DBs or just corners?
DBs in general. Could be agents.
Jalen Ramsey. You gonna go Derwin James.
Derwin coming.
Yeah,
be
he-
telling people
he-
about Derwin James because
yeah,
he's
he
been
got
hurt the
hurt
last
last-
2
yeah,
years.
but he was-
but
oh,
he's
yeah, he
coming.
was that guy.
He's coming, ladies and gentlemen.
Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Humphrey can play.
What about this guy, Gilmore, maybe?
Steph,
Stephon
he's
Gilmore,
coming off
New
an
England.
injury. He's still good, but he's seen his best
His
years
best days.
behind him. Xavier Howard, he
Yeah,
really
Miami.
goes and gets that ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Sure. Yeah, that's 5.
That's 5.
What about all time? You have your
My top
guy?
5 DBs all
All
time.
time.
Deion Sanders,
Yeah.
Charles Woodson,
Yeah.
Ronnie Lott,
A Lotster. You're too young for
Troy Polamalu,
Wow. Okay.
Nah, it was Bob, bro.
Ed Reed.
Okay. There's 5 right
That's
there.
5 right there.
Okay. Let us throw out some. We're gonna throw one name at you, and you have to say underrated or overrated, and we'll throw out receiver names. Right? Underrated. You can only say underrated or overrated. All right. Tyreek Hill.
Underrated.
Okay. Julio Jones.
Underrated.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Underrated.
Odell Beckham.
Underrated.
Jarvis Landry.
Overrated.
Keenan. I'm gonna say you're saying
Underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
Antonio Brown.
Underrated.
Amari Cooper. That's a tough one.
I rate it high. I think overrated. A little bit overrated for what he's done.
Okay.
Devontae
Adams.
He underrated. Dog.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see.
That's like what? That's 8,
It's about 8. Okay.
10.
T.O.
Underrated. Nothing. It's a combination. I'll say my best things for T.O. It's a combination of Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. Smooth, but deep threat. Vertical.
Yeah, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
I'm just saying. I would just.
We just talked about this on my podcast, man.
I would echo those same sentiments. I would
You're not
describe
allowed to echo them.
We
I
talked
would
about the top 5 receivers
describe
in
myself
the last
as
20
such.
years.
Yeah.
And somebody on there, they didn't put Jerry Rice. They say Jerry Rice he was in the 80s and the 90s. I said I'd never make a top 5 list of
Without
any
Jerry.
era without Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
Right,
whoever made that list, I'm not talking to anymore.
Right, yeah,
You know what I
makes
mean?
no
This makes
sense.
no sense.
Yeah,
It
you-
But
makes
they're
no
like,
sense.
nah, Jerry was in the end of his time there. I said I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Jerry
Yeah,
Rice.
it don't matter. Yeah.
Right.
He sets the standard. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's the perfect DB? Give me the build the perfect corner.
He's 6 feet. He can bend. He wants to tackle. and he's smart.
Smart. There you have it. People, they don't realize how smart you have to be to play sports. People do not realize
well,
that.
especially DB,
Yeah.
because you're at a disadvantage.
They just think it's all you turn and run with people.
right.
You got to be smart, man.
Bro, that was.
You got to be smart.
Exceptional athletes. I'm just saying, to be running backwards, and then you have to basically assess.
I never think that I get like the credit that because I was special like in the terms of like I wasn't super big.
Right.
I was really, really fast. I could change directions really, really good, and I feel like I played bigger than I was.
Yeah.
And I wasn't afraid.
I didn't think
half
you
of
were.
the battle.
I thought you were bigger. Yeah, I always thought you were a bigger corner.
Yeah, like that's half of the battle. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's like when you look like, damn, you really wasn't that big.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I probably was 190 on a good day.
Wow. Yeah, I thought you were a 6-footer, 205,
No.
Patrick Peterson-ish. You know what I'm saying? So
He
there it is.
wishes.
Shit. he's happy I wasn't.
There it is.
Perhaps.
There it is.
So what's next? Before we wrap it up, what's next? And just give us a snapshot of what your next 5 years.
Man, I'm really gonna dive into this media thing, and just doing this podcast thing, and there's a big space in the world for people wanting to know stories and wanting to know they want to know things that happen. They want to know what happened when, you go to the W, and you at the bar downstairs with Terrell, Owens, Ken Hamlin, Zach Thomas. They want to know what happened.
Ken Hamlin.
They want to know like what it was like being on a team when every time you take off, you gotta give your per diem money to him and play a card game. Like I don't want to play.
You was the bully for the for the per diem?
Nah, I didn't have nothing to do with
What
that.
was y'all playing, Tom?
I don't know.
Oh,
You
y'all-
gotta give your per diem. It got your name on it. He coming around. You're 65. I'm gonna use this for Ruth's Chris. I'm gonna stuff chicken.
Right.
I'm gonna put it on the bill.
Right.
Give me my money.
Here, Rook, it's mandatory. Like, what we doing?
Yeah.
What we doing? So with everybody, you get it. T gonna shuffle it up, and they gonna pull out whatever he pull out, and whoever get the whole batch.
What?
Like-
Yep.
That's a horrible game.
No, that's better than rookie hazing.
Yo, and then we
That
had,
is hazing.
No, it's not.
Actually,
That's-
a criminal act.
and then we had, like, I remember it was T and Barber. Barber shake it up, T pull it out, read it out, and then you got Marion. The white man wins again.
Taking all
But it
of
wasn't
them.
even. It just wasn't players though. That's why I'm gonna say it wasn't like a rookie hazing. It was,
Hazing, right,
It was
right.
trainers.
Yeah.
It was everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody was trying. Everybody was
to
risking.
win that pot,
You
dog.
was
That pot
risking-
was major.
No, that's what I'm saying.
about
dog.
$2,500.
$65
That's about
for like
$2,500,
all
3
the
racks.
players.
Yeah.
And some
Ooh,
man.
yeah,
What?
that's a good little per diem
No,
right
that
there.
was so fun, dog.
That's
It's
funny.
gravy when you win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gravy when you
It's
win.
the lottery, baby. We won the lottery.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
people want to hear about that. I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
it's a big space for that in sports. Those are timeless memories.
Yeah.
Records, people gonna throw for 300 yards. They're gonna keep doing that. They're gonna keep
Alright.
breaking records.
Right.
But it's a huge space for being able to talk to the youth and letting them know like what it's like. There's people that are never gonna get the opportunity to be in that position, and they want to know what it's like. And what better way to tell it than tell it yourself. And not let
True.
people tell stories of things that didn't happen. I watch all these shows all the time, and you hear like media members like, oh, I was around this team, and I heard this, but that you don't never really know what that was
Right,
the
you
case.
heard.
But you don't know.
By the time
weren't
you
there.
hear it 2 or 3 times from
It's
2 or
off.
3 different
The
people,
narrative has changed.
Yeah.
the story
To
done
whoever's
changed
telling it.
that many times.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah. So that's the gist of About Game, your podcast.
that's the gist. Just talking about the game and what the game meant to me. And I go into a lot of different things outside the game, what it was like. Being a parent, having baby moms, like just
Yeah.
like the women side of it, the life, the struggle side of it.
Yeah.
Like the lows that you had. There's a lot of lows. A lot of people struggle with drugs and alcohol. A lot of people struggle, having children and not being able to be there for them and being guilt tripped or just being in situations that you can't really change and you don't really have the time because your time is going to football and
Yep.
you making sacrifices for down the road.
Yep. Yeah, there it is. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Orlando Scandrick on Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast.
Yep. And be sure to check out his podcast about
The game.
About the game with himself, TJ, and Lauren Seltzer.
Yo, we want to thank you, Orlando Scandrick, for coming on the show today, man. That was good. That was fun.
Appreciate you holding up. You got that? Holding up the set, holding down the set today. Nah, man, we appreciate you coming in, man. Man, you had a hell of a career, 10 years in the league. That's saying a lot, especially from the defensive back, cornerback, whatever you want to call yourself. But man, I appreciate the years that we played together. Appreciate you stopping on the set, dropping some gems, and just sharing with us kind of what your experience been like coming from a small school. We obviously can relate, and you're not the first, not the last, but I appreciate you stopping in, man.
Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. We out. Peace.